Hey Jeff, with after Don took over with a new system in place and you receiving more ice time, do you feel like you got closer to making the impact you know that you're capable of?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair statement. I mean, I I I do see myself as an impact player. I'm obviously disappointed and not satisfied with how much I impacted games um, over the course of the season. I think as the season went on, there were spurts where I felt like I was able to get back to more being more impactful, and um, that's something as I go into the summer, I'm going to continue to work on and keep trying improving and get back to where I expect to be.
Hey Jeff, just what was the difference between when Don took over and when Ralph was here? Because it seems like there was a noticeable difference in the way not just you, but just the whole group was playing. Just what was that difference that maybe Don brought when he took over?
Um, I think I think obviously the system was a little bit different. You changed the system. Um, Sometimes you change the voice, and guys get a little bit energized from that. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more of an aggressive, up tempo type style of play, and we have a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that can skate well, and I think that when you look at our team and the system that Donnie wants to play, um, there's a lot of sort of similarities matching up sort of the strengths of our team and sort of what strengths bring the best out of that system. So I think the coaching staff as a whole towards the end of the year did a good job of sort of matching those two things up.
Good morning, Jeff. You've scored 20 goals in this league 7 times. You've scored 30 goals 4 times. So we know you can put the puck in the net. When you look at the season, though, you see 7 goals, 14 points, shooting only 6%. I mean, how much do you just have to completely flush this season? And how much can you take from it? I mean, is it almost a throwaway and you just have to start over this offseason and rebuild yourself? Or where do you look at the numbers from this thing?
I think um, you always have lessons you can learn. I mean, obviously those numbers are not something I'm proud of, and something I'm not definitely not something I'm satisfied with. But I think as you go through a season and as you gain experience throughout your career, you have a better sort of measuring stick, and also a better sense of sort of where your game's at in compared to sort of how you felt in the past. And I think, of course, a lot of things go into that. There's a lot of variables in a game, um, and it's not only measured on goals and assists. I think sometimes it can be measured in sort of momentum you're creating for your team, uh, being solid defensively, and uh, maybe drawing penalties, creating chances offensively. Maybe they're not going in. So I think when you look at it from that perspective, um, there's more to take from take away from a game, a season, any stretch of games, and you have a better sense of how to sort of self-analyze uh, your game and where it's at and how to get to where you want to be. And so, sort of answering the question, I guess, is that uh, I mean, completely flushing the season is sort of, I guess, like a saying that you could use that um, you want to kind of forget about it and move on. But I do think at the same time there are takeaways that you can get, um, and and that's what I sort of plan to sort of as you go through the summer, as you get some perspective on the year and sort of can analyze yourself how you went through different situations. You get a chance to get a more clear picture on those takeaways. So I think that's sort of how I view it, and sort of how I'm going to sort of take some stuff away and try and learn from it and improve my game.
Jeff, I mean, mentally this season has to be tough for a lot of people with the way, I mean, on the road, you guys aren't really able to go out with just the COVID protocols, and especially the way you guys as a team, how your season went. So how did you sort of navigate that, given, how, I guess, displeased you were with how the season went for yourself individually at times, and, how it went? I mean, obviously the being scratched for a couple of games, how did you sort of just keep pushing forward, I guess is the best way I can ask that.
You just find a way. I mean, I think I'm probably echoing what a lot of people have said, that we have it pretty good in the grand scheme of things. I think when you look at the world today, we're pretty fortunate to be able to play hockey, to have our health and to have support around us. So I think obviously in a season, you don't use that and sort of gloss over all the negatives. You still have to play the games and improve yourself, and there's still standards to be met and expectations to be met. But I also think you can't lose perspective of that. And you go through a challenging season like this, and a lot of our challenges are pretty small, more than pretty small than the rest of the world, really. And what challenges you do find yourself in, you have the support of your teammates. We have the support of a great staff here. And then personally, you have your own support system, whether it's your friends and family back home, or however you get through difficult situations. And for me, that's sort of how I view that. I think I get a pretty good support system back home with friends and family, and then obviously I think we have a great support system here in Buffalo with the staff we have around us. So yeah, it was challenging, but in the grand scheme of things, I think we're pretty fortunate.
Hey, Jeff, when you kind of look around the room at kind of who the core is and who you might think the core people are, is the core there to get out of this playoff funk of not making the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to believe that. If you don't believe that, then yeah, I don't know what you're doing. But I think you look at the talent. I think especially as the season went on and closer to the end of the season, you saw some of the young talent that's here, and some of that those young guys got some more confidence. They got some more experience in different situations, and that's only going to be positive, I think. And yeah, I think there's a lot of really good pieces. It's now up to us to sort of put it together.
Jeff, with the way that this team responded to Don towards the end of the season when he took over, as you've talked about, would you like to see him stay as head coach?
Fortunately for me, I don't have to make those kinds of decisions. Like, I just got to worry about hockey. But I mean, I think they did a good job. I think you come into season or in sort of mid-season, and obviously we're in a tough spot. We're in the middle of a big losing streak, and when that happens, guys don't have confidence. Sort of as a group, you don't have confidence, and it's a tough thing to get out of when you have sort of that fragile mentality as a group. When something goes wrong in a game, it seems like it's inevitable that the next thing that happens is gonna go against you. So, yeah, I thought they did a good job of sort of navigating that, along with obviously juggling everything else. I thought they did a good job.
Jeff, you have a full no move clause. Have you given any thought? I mean, I'm just throwing scenarios out. If they came to you and wanted you to move that so they could protect someone else for Seattle, would you ponder that? I mean, it would leave you out there, but Botts and Francis are out there. I mean, have you given any thought about that at all? or would you totally want to stay here?
I haven't thought of it, but I mean, again, I guess up to me. I mean, those fortunately for me, but also for everyone else, I guess those decisions aren't up to me. I think maybe one day, way down the line, I'd be in a position where I could have some say in those decisions, where it's a manager or something like that. But I haven't thought about it.
But just so I'm clear, I mean, you have a total no move. You have a long-term deal. Your goal is to get ready, to be ready to play here, to try to help this team make the playoffs next season, right? There's no.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.